Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Crackle, crackle. Hope you are all well this evening. The show will be starting in a few seconds. Just gather yourself together. Take a large gulp of air and prepare yourself for a show of adequate entertainment value. And if by any chance you wish to nod off during the show, then please ensure that you have somebody to prod you when it's finished. This show is not sponsored by anyone, but has been prepared by small amounts of porridge. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobes, One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Roger Fish. And
me, Sheila Sandfish.
Sheila Sandfish and Roger Fish today are your hosty-mosties, and they're going to be giving all sorts of advice on what to do with salt that you have used in a desalination unit off the coast of Africa. But before all of that, we have Richard Vobes and lovely Julia here to bring you the Vobes Show, which will be starting something like this. There we are.
Not sure why, but okay.
Oh, that's to do with making sure the signal gets out into the proper place. I am rather hoping that everyone can actually hear us, that we're not doing this mute.
Yes, that would be.
Now, the lovely Julia has spent the last 48 hours since the last show going into the Vobes Show laboratory with Eric. And you have come up with a concoction here that's
not quite suitable.
It's not quite as good as it usually is. The bubble machine is on half. What's happened, lovely Julia?
I didn't mix up the mixture right.
Oh, how do you make bubble? Is it nitroglycerine and?
You can use fancy stuff like glycerin from your cooking section in the shops, but I just used a little bit of water and some fairy liquid. Or any other washing up liquid.
Oh, right. Maybe less water.
Yes, probably.
If anybody's got
or maybe it's not mixed fully.
Oh, yes, that's true. I'll let you stir up the concoction.
I'll play with it for me.
You play with it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here we are live in front of you for another night. We have 4 videos in tonight's show.
4?
I know, it goes like buses, doesn't it? 1 minute there's like one that chuffs along, it's very nice. Then there's 4, and you feel like you're in some American drag race with this all itching to... Wait, what's happened to my chair? All vying for attention yeah. We've made up the videos because of the lack of bubbles in tonight's show.
Yes.
But there we are. If you have some spare bubble mixture that you'd care to send in at any one time, please do. Shove it in an envelope and address it to The Vobes Show, Worthing, P.O. Box something or other, ND4 9 Dix
555
555 9721. Thank you very much. It's lovely to see you. We also have 2 messages to hand out this evening. One is to Elaine and Ron down there in Aldwick.
That was a phone call, but it's no longer a phone call.
It's no longer. So I didn't mean to ignore the phone. I just didn't see it.
No, it only buzzed twice.
Somebody rung off. They obviously were talking about bubbles and got bubbled off. Ron and Elaine, we've got your message about coming over to see you. You've got something for the Vobes Show. We've got to pick it up in person because you probably haven't got a big enough van to deliver it with, whereas I, of course, have. So I hope it's a large thing. You know, we can put in the background and say...
You don't want much, do you?
No, I don't want much.
You don't want for much, do you?
I want it all.
I want it all.
I want it
I
all.
want it all.
I want it all.
I want it all.
I don't
and
know
I
that
want it when?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow,
7:30,
please.
if
At the
that's
earliest
all right.
convenience. Tomorrow,
Yes.
though.
Yeah, so I want it all. Thank you very much, Ron and Elaine. Also, Sonia, lovely Sonia, is watching in, I can't say exactly where because she wants to keep it a bit secret, but she is watching somewhere to the Never Eat Shredded Wheat of us. And in one of the most recent videos of the Bald Explorer, carbon copy of myself, you may have noticed.
Okay, may have.
Nice bloke he is.
Oh, he's such a nice bloke.
Oh, he's such a nice bloke. And there's a carbon copy of you in the videos occasionally.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Cool, blimey. More than what I mean.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot to put up with, I can tell you.
No wonder the world's falling apart.
It's creaking at the middle with a sort of Jaffa Cake wiggle. Anyway, Sonia said, I watched your video and I noticed you happened to flippantly say, I might give away my tumble dryer because I don't need it. So like a shot, she sent me an email saying, I'll have it. Give it to me. I'll have it. If you don't give it to me, I'll bash you on the head. So
she could have used fewer words and said, yoink.
Yoink.
Yoink. That tumble dryer.
Yoink. So I said, you're very welcome. So I'm going to drop it round probably on Friday. We think Friday. So Sonia, if you're watching, Friday. We probably think around midday-ish, something like that, 11 midday. I don't know. Somewhere. I'll email you if you want
like
to.
that.
So anyway, there we are. That's the Vobes good deed of the day. It's really the good deed of the year, to be honest. I don't do many good deeds. I'm not. Are you?
You've done plenty of good deeds.
Are you a good deeder?
I do good deeds when I can. Actually, speaking of good deeds.
Yes.
I was shopping in Asda the other day, and a pair of girls were at the till next to me, and no, they were girls, not women.
Oh, so young girls,
Yes.
girls. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yes. And basically they were short 48 pence, so I handed them 50 pence, and they were ever so chuffed.
And did you say tuppence change, please? Short of 48p, here's 50 on account, but I'll have tuppence change.
They were very sweet and very grateful.
Bless.
But yeah, it's the nice thing about doing things like that is that they're more likely to. In fact, they were probably just as likely to do it beforehand, but because they've received, I know when I've received a kindness, I'm more likely to do it.
To do it again?
Yeah.
That's
right.
Have you done a good deed? That's the question of the evening. Have you done a good deed? And if so, please take heed and tell us all about it. We'd be lovely to know. Mr. Mocky says, they will do nicely. Shall I send you my address?
Box of chocolates.
Oh, box of chocolates.
Box of chocolate frogs.
I see.
Colonel Cragretti says 30 years... Oh, no, wait. Who was it? Mr. Mocky said, did you know it's 30 years ago today that Freddie Mercury died? That'd be why a friend of mine was actually visiting his old abode.
That's why we haven't seen him much on the telly, because he's dead.
That would be why.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed.
To be honest, I've seen him plenty on the telly.
Oh, have you?
Well, not so much the telly, but on Netflix.
And that's...
other streamable devices.
Oh, fair
apps.
enough. 30 years ago, to be honest with you, I'm not being... He was in a band called The Queen, wasn't he?
No, just Queen.
Oh, I beg your
Queen.
pardon. Just Queen.
Just Queen.
Oh, sorry.
With capital Q.
With a capital
Q.
I'm one of those, as people will know, I'm quite ignorant when it comes to popular music. That's tunes that you'd hear in the hit parade, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you of a certain era, of which I am, unfortunately, one. Anyway, I couldn't identify many artists. I may have heard of them, but I couldn't tell you. It's like when I met up with Dumpman, and he always has Motorhead on his T-shirts.
I couldn't name any Motorhead songs.
And I couldn't, and I said to him, I said, I know you're into your Motorhead, but I have no idea, could not. He said, you'd probably recognise it if you heard it. And I said, yes, that's probably the case. With a lot of music, I may go, oh, I know that tune, but I couldn't tell you who does it.
I might have to go and look up some Motorhead after the show.
Oh, there we are. Well,
do you know what I was listening to earlier?
No.
Something called baby metal.
Oh, baby.
Yes.
Baby metal.
Baby metal. It's a heavy metal band.
Is that like tin foil?
No, it's a heavy metal band with three petite female singers. They're Japanese.
Hello, welcome to the show.
Don't do that.
Oh, don't do that, she says. Hello, welcome to the show. The person who just rang. If you're there, are you still there? Have you rung up? No, you're there.
What on earth are you talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? I'm
Little Japanese or what?
Yeah, no. Lovely Julia said that there's a band called Baby Metal. Baby Metal. I said, is that tin foil? She said no. Bad joke.
It's a heavy metal band, as in musicians.
But with Japanese.
They're all Japanese, but fronted by three females.
I thought I got connected to some porn line.
What kind of porn you like?
Oh, God.
We'll give you very nice porn cocktail. Very good. This time of year. Apparently, not allowed to do accents. Apparently.
It is Arundel-san.
Yes. And, hello, Arundel-chan. Are you from Arundel?
I'll get my coat.
You've got it.
This is my jacket.
Can I just say something to
yes, please.
Lady Julia?
Yes,
Lady Julia.
Lady, yes.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Hello. You are getting very good at this.
At what?
No, just live broadcast.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just fantastic. I love it.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you. It's.
You can keep pace with this old bald geezer.
Can't shut him up still sometimes. I'm learning though.
I keep getting told. I was told the other day by somebody who I mustn't say because it would upset her if I said who it was, who said, "Can you shut up a lot more and let Julia do the talking?"
It is a joint show, isn't it? It has to be.
We do like the old joint.
No, you are both on the same wavelength now. I love it.
Yeah, it's taken a long time for me to build my confidence up as much as Julia's, but I'm working on it.
The funny thing is, we've always been on the same wavelength. It's just his show persona is something else.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very annoying, actually.
Yeah. Yes. It's bloody annoying.
It's bloody annoying.
It's so
all
annoying.
His opinions.
Yeah, even his blinking. Opinions are like bums. Everyone's got them. Doesn't mean you have to show them to everybody.
Oh, that's true. Nobody wants a bum shoved in your face, nor my opinion.
That's the polite version, anyway.
Oh, right.
Yes, well said, Julia.
Thank you for your compliment, though. Well, much appreciated.
I'd got over a major hurdle yesterday.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I'm still exhausted. I actually got an appointment for a booster jab.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow.
Da-da-da-da. Because the time has passed when you can get foreign vaccination records implanted into the national health system. And unless your foreign vaccinations are there, you can't be given a booster.
Oh, I see. So you had your jabs done in America, and that wasn't. So you're saying it wasn't recognised in the UK for a while, so you couldn't get the booster.
Well, it used to be, but the incompetence of the doctor office administration department was such that the date apparently lapsed when a doctor could insert my records into the National Health database.
No, but they're quite happy to insert some peculiar substance into your body, but they can't insert your records.
No. Don't recognise them now, apparently. So I got onto the helpline because my doctor, Dr. Shahabaki Suez Wiz Edith.
Oh yes.
Got onto the local place, and they said, no, that's right, you can't get it in there anymore. Your code has expired.
Oh, poor old you.
She said, well, call 119 or whatever it is, and I spent 20 minutes listening to them saying, sorry, we can't book you an appointment. We can't do it. There's no record. We can't book you an appointment. And then I started to tremble and broke down.
Oh, no. Why?
Basically they were saying, you're going to have to be in isolation for the rest of your life because we can't book you a booster.
So when you say we're trembling, was this RADA treatment? Were you doing a bit of acting?
No, I wasn't acting.
You were trembling?
I wasn't acting.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
I was just being told there is no way you can get a booster.
So were you furious? Were you venting? Were you doing hair dryers?
I was collapsing. I was hysterical. I was effectively being told you will be in isolation for the rest of your life because we can't do anything for you.
It's strange.
Why?
I was in tears.
Yeah, it's strange considering they're trying to force the vaccine on people.
So-
Exactly.
Does that mean is that like you've got to start all over again and go and get vaccine number 1 and then vaccine number 2 and then vaccine number 3? By the time you've done that, we'll be on vaccine number 86.
You're a bright fella. That is my plan B, because I can go online and book my first vaccination.
Although you've had it, you can have...
And my second vaccination, because there is no record.
Right. So you could be vaccinated to your teeth, wouldn't you? You would be a human experiment.
Would that be a little bit dangerous?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would.
That would be.
I wouldn't do that.
Go and do it. Film yourself
No.
and see. We'll
can't be
show
saying
it
things like
live.
that.
We'll show it live on the show. Here is a man of a certain age, and he's had, and we can say this is his first UK vaccination, despite the fact he's had 2 elsewhere. So then you get the booster. That's 5. And when you start to glow in the dark and your eyes just bulge to the size
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, how many times?
We may be onto something here. We may, if by you doing that, having 2 vaccines and all the rest of it, so you end up with 5, we may be able to stop the nonsense that we've got to continually vaccinate, because they'll go, look at this, he's grown 2 heads and 36 arms.
Yeah, I hate to think what would happen if they gave me 2 more full doses.
Yes.
I mean, how much attack can your immune system take?
Well, exactly. I mean, you'll be immune to everything. Doesn't matter what anybody throws at you. You'd be Superman, except you'd have to be, what has he got to be now? Non-binary or fluid or something. That's what Superman has become. Apparently, his son is now binary. What's that one where he's neither
non-binary?
One? Yeah, non-binary or binary.
I do not understand a word of all that language.
No, I'm so sorry. I don't know. It's computer speak, isn't it? Binary.
I can't be bothered.
No. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I'm going to go to the pharmacy if I can wake up early enough, and I can present my American vaccine credentials, and I can now, after 7 months of trying, 7 months, I can now present a document from my GP recognising my American vaccinations.
Right.
And having spoken to pharmacists before, I think they will have to say to me, we can't do it.
Right. Gosh.
The next step would be, I don't know, lawyers, or the Sun newspaper, or whatever.
Why would you have to be isolating for the rest of your life by not having the third? I mean, you might not be able to fly places, but you can. I mean, I haven't been vaccinated at all, and I can still go out of the house.
Yeah, but I mean, you've seen what's happening in the news here. All these new lockdowns and vaccine passports.
Yeah, but I'm in England. I'm not in Wales or Scotland or, heaven forbid, Austria or Australia or Germany or any of these weird backward waters where they think locking you down. And I mean, have we not learnt anything over the last 20 months?
Yeah, well, according to a professor interviewed on Sky TV this morning, we don't know what's going to happen next week, let alone next month. Well, you can be declared free of the virus,
yes,
and still be carrying it.
Yes, I mean it's an oxymoron land, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean there was a chap who got Ebola, where it was in Africa, and recovered from it. 10 years later, he died of it, having been in no contact with anybody with Ebola, because it was still in his system.
Right.
And this COVID virus is the same.
Is it?
It will keep breaking out everywhere in the world. We have to find a way to live with this. We really do.
We do. I agree. I mean, I totally agree with you there. I think the more you try and hit the thing on the head, the more evasive it's going to be.
I think I told you in our first telephone conversation ever that a friend of mine in the States was an expert on viruses, PhD and all of that. And he was just the same. You're not going to get rid of this. you're never going to get rid of it.
No.
So, yeah, find a way to live your life, I guess.
There you've heard the voice of doom, ladies and gentlemen, on the Vobes show. What an exciting... Thank you so much for that, Alan. Just as we were feeling down, you've brought us right up.
Well, while we're down there, Michael White has floored everybody.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Just go on.
Michael White says, I've got cancer, so I think I can escape the jab now.
Ah.
So everyone's sending him lots of love and support, and hope that you
Me too.
keep on fighting
All
that.
the best.
Yeah,
All the
gosh.
best.
The other big nasty C.
Well, I mean, and this is the problem that we're in, that we've been fighting. The National Health Service has, of course, become the National COVID Service, and so many people over the last 20 months have not been able to get diagnosis for all sorts of unpleasant things. And now we've got, I think it's up to 6 million backlog of people waiting. So if you're waiting for a treatment, and unless you're actually in the very severe edge of it, forget about your hip replacement. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah, no. And you know, I know not to talk much about my experiences of the USA here because people aren't interested. But in USA, in Texas where I was, there were specialist hospitals for doing hip replacements and knee replacements and other replacements where no general patient COVID-bearing person would go. So those services carried on uninterrupted.
I'm surprised. I mean, you say something there. I think that's quite interesting. I'm surprised that we do not have, like, hip replacement hospital, places that just specialise in that. Like you go to a dentist, these things that are pretty routine these days, that you don't, you know, a hospital could be just for those things which are a bit extraordinary. Whereas hip replacement and knees and things like that, they could be done in like a dentist. You just book an appointment and they say, yeah, no problem. And you just have a few specialists who do that sort of thing. You walk in, you hobble in, and then you walk out.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
The only thing is, complications like...
Sorry, Julia. Carry on.
Sorry, because the trouble is, what if their complications appear and then they suddenly need a heart surgeon? They'd need to travel them... Because that happened to you with your eye, didn't it?
Yeah.
For example.
It is true that...
But there'd be more of that.
When they extracted my eye at the Moorfields Eye Hospital, I was awoke at about 3 a.m. by 2 paramedics who said, you're awake? I said, yeah, I think so. They said, don't worry, we're just taking you to another hospital because your heart stopped during the operation and we need to take you to another to a hospital because this is an eye hospital. We don't do hearts. Kind of reassuring that they knew.
I had something like that when I fell and broke some ribs.
Yeah.
And went to one of these. They have these emergency care clinics in Texas and probably elsewhere, where you can just go and you can book an appointment online and they give you a call back and say, come in half an hour. So I had some pain in my chest. I went there and they said, we can give you a certificate for 5 days to your employer for not, you mustn't lift anything heavy because you have bruised ribs.
Yes.
And then I got a call later that night from the regional medical officer for these emergency clinics. And he said, you have 3 broken ribs and a collapsed lung. Can you get to a hospital?
Oh, golly.
So I drove to the local hospital, which I knew very well because I delivered flowers there. That was my job. And they said, actually, this is a maternity hospital.
You knew it that well, and you delivered
flowers. I knew it that well.
Yeah.
There was a bloody maternity, and they took me into sort of a break room, and they said, we're going to get you downtown to the trauma unit. And apparently the trauma unit called back and said, we're full. You have to do it.
Gosh.
They took me into a break room and
at the maternity hospital.
At the maternity hospital with
So we know how to get to it. Only we have one way of getting to it that is a bit, for what you.
One nurse was called down from upstairs and she held my legs open, which she would be well versed in.
Yeah.
And some ambulance driver lady held my left eye. held my left arm down, and a cleaner held my right arm down, and the doctor opened my ribs up and shoved a tube down.
Well, Mr. Sandell, you have just given birth to 3 lovely ribs. Perfectly fine. We couldn't find the bruised and broken ones, but you've got 3 perfectly good ones, and they're going to grow up to be a lovely skeleton.
Turned out to be 6 ribs.
Oh, right. Oh, blimey. Well, listen,
but they were very good. I know.
I'm sure they were lovely ribs.
Yes.
Oh, you mean the maternity people? Do you know, I think that they probably thought, this is a nice change, isn't it? All we do is babies after babies. Occasionally it's just nice to do something different, isn't it?
Yeah, we gave birth to a new lung.
Yeah. Each week we do a different speciality. Brain surgery. We haven't done a brain for a while, have we? Let's do a brain.
Oh, no.
Matron, we want some brains in here. Oh, dear. It's so much fun. Listen, we better move on. But thank you so much for calling.
You got your 4 videos. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Love you both.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Whoops, I've just accidentally cut him off rather swiftly. Alan Sandell there, ladies and gentlemen, bringing a smile to us. Even though he had a few issues there with his boosters and stuff. Mr. Mocky says, what does he say?
He says, anyone know what happened to the Nightingale temporary hospitals they built back in March 2020 but never used?
I think they got blown away, didn't they? They were temporary hospitals and the gale went past. And I think the NEC was one of them. I think they started to put exhibitions back into them. They got rid of them, never used them. It's a total ridiculous. I don't know why they haven't set up just special COVID hospitals. That would be the perfect thing, wouldn't it? Just little COVID hospitals for those. So. Yeah. Anyway, we better move on.
Yes. Which video are we going to have first? Meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah, we got 4 videos. So let's go into the thingy, and then you can pick whichever one you like. Are you ready? And the lovely Julia is choosing. Bing!
Oh, that one.
So, you may remember I did a video fairly recently of going up to Harrison's Rocks with the lovely Dan from Phoenix History, a YouTuber. Do check out his channel, why not? And we've had an email in with a video attached to it of Colonel Cragratty, who in his younger days, I think he was only 3, he escaped his mother and he clambered up Harrison's Rocks all by himself. Shall we see what happened?
Yes.
And there he is, a pubescent Colonel Cragratty clambering up the rocks making it look just, well, a bit like Spider-Man.
You're making it look easy as pie.
Easy as pie. In fact, we should have a go one day.
Yeah.
We should clamber up those rocks. I'll take a ladder, and you could take a lift.
I'll
cable
sit on your
car.
shoulders.
Yeah, there we go. All good stuff. Thank you very much, Pete. And it's fantastic that you sent that in because of, there was I clambering up off camera. You may not have seen. I was clambering up all by my own. I got at least a couple of inches. And then it was a bit queasy, too queasy for me. But it's great fun. We have half an hour to go on our special show. 0793 474 6790 is the number. If you
Canumber.
Yes, it's the Canumber. If you wish.
Don't you canoe?
Don't you canoe? That is the Canumber to Karing. Ka-ching.
Karing.
Karing.
Is that your sister?
Yeah,
Corinne.
Yeah, my sister. I haven't seen my sister since my mum died, actually.
Do you know, actually, the only reason I thought of her, it's bad, isn't it? The only reason I thought of her, lovely lady though, was because I saw a comment of hers on some random post on Facebook earlier.
Oh, yes, she does randomly post on Facebook.
Very random.
Julia's looking far too smart to go rock climbing, says Ian.
Not you though. You're scrubby enough to go.
I am scruffy enough. Oh, talking of that, I'm just scouring to see if he's out there. Lovely Kieran from the Vintage News popped in to see me today, and we had a lovely conversazione about clothes and English clothes, and he wears clothes from the Hollywood. Clothes from Hollywood, I think he called it. I can't remember exactly how he termed it, but it was lovely. We had such a lovely conversation. Some of them he's had made up himself. Some of them he gathers. They're sort of mainly from the 1930s, the sort of the highlight of Hollywood, with the Trilby hat and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely brilliant. And because I wanted to, and I'm trying to in my Bald Explorer in the future, want to look at Englishness from the point of view of dress. And of course it's my journey into Englishness, not just all of England. So I'm trying to find an outfit that will, or outfits or clothes that sort of ring true. So it may be that I have to get rid of my jeans because that's an American import.
Maybe.
So I may be getting rid of those. Michael White says, I get my clothes off other people's washing lines, which is absolutely ideal. Sean's Gardening World says the golden age of Hollywood. Yes.
Zach.
Zach.
Yes, Zach.
Zach. That's,
Zach Pinsent.
Goes to a conversation that Julia and I had. And I was thinking, what's his name? Vincent.
I was sitting here beating myself up. Come on, you know this name. I just had to put Pinsent Tailoring in.
Oh, I see, yes.
As soon as I saw his face, I was like, of course.
Zach Pinsent is a young gentleman that we interviewed when we were at the Regency Town House. I don't know, I was wiggling my fingers.
That's your memory fingers.
That's
Did
my
you
memory.
know that?
Yes.
I'm remembering something.
Conjures up memory.
Yep.
Yes. And we interviewed him, and his thing is very much Regency style, and he makes his own clothes. And I did a video about him.
The way down from his undercrackers out.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything.
Which is an interesting one. The difference is that it's not a costume to him, nor indeed to Kieran. He says it's not a costume, and he was quite offended when I said, it's like a costume. He said, no, these are my clothes. I dress properly.
This is my garb, my wardrobe.
Yeah, and I thought actually that is quite true. Sean James Cameron says, I saw a man walking down a London street in just a bedsheet today. Hope he wasn't looking for
sexy time.
Forgot about that. Dear, oh dear. Are you going to wear spats, Richard? I don't know, actually. I don't know too much about spats. Are they something that you spit on? No, that's a spittoon, isn't it? Yeah, spats. So they're the things that go over your shoes.
That is something you do when you've already done it. Spit. What?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Did you
nothing.
spit? Yeah, I've spat. Da-dum-bum-tish.
Dum-bum-tish.
Whilst you're working that out, let's have another video.
Yay.
And the choice is yours, Julia, for the second video of the night. Bing. Oh, it's time for a little poem. This is given to us care of Dave Ivad. A bit of serious poetry, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare yourself. Don't be shy, it was not I. But it was some other guy. There we go, bit of poetry.
Who had just the one eye.
Who just had the one eye, exactly. Don't be shy, it was not I, it was the other guy who had one eye. We made that up on the spot.
Yeah.
Was
it clever?
Laugh.
I think not.
Yes. It came out the mouth of that clot. Anyway, lovely to have your poem there, Dave Ivad. Thank you so much. That made us glad. Yeah. We will have another video very soon. If you want to send in some poetry, we would be very happy to throw it in the bin. To view it. It would be fantastic. It's lovely. Brilliant, Dave, says Michael White. Lots of claps and smiles. Bonnie says, great, fantastic. Right, now, here's a talking point then that we haven't got to. There was an MP in the House of Lords, no, the House of Commons, who was out there. But she brought in her very quiet baby in a sling, and there was a bit of outrage about bringing a baby to work. And here's the question: should you be allowed to bring your baby, your children, into the workplace? What do you think? Answer the question now. I mean, it does depend on the workplace, surely, because if you work in a creche, it would be perfect.
And how old was the baby?
The baby was like,
recent?
Yeah, this was only the other day. It's about 3 months old, so it was in a sling. It was asleep. It was sleeping mainly, but she was in the House of Commons giving a speech with the baby on a sling. I forget her name now. It'll come back to me at some point. But the baby could have woken up and started crying and could have I mean, it was certainly should an MP be allowed to. I don't think that's the place for children. But some workplaces maybe it's all right. Some people bring their dogs into work. What do you think?
We have a couple of no's, and Joanna Jones says, I go to work for the break.
Yeah, get away from the kids.
Michael White says, there are enough children in Parliament already. Ramiboo's just arrived.
Oh, hello, Ramiboo. Mr. Mocky says, well, it's not safe, especially if you're a steeplejack. Well, that would be the perfect place, I think. Wait, I brought the child to work. Did I bring him back again?
Colonel Cragratty says, no, get a childminder.
Yes.
MP Stella Creasy. Creasy, is that how you say it?
Where are you looking?
Where it says at the Vobes show in orange, and then after
yes, Stella Creasy. That was the MP. That's right. Thank you. Yeah, she came in. She's from the Labour department of the government. Station Master Choice, not sure I agree with taking babies and children into work. You can't be concentrating 100% on a job for which you get paid, which is very true. It would be nice to know if they actually concentrated 100% on their job anyway. Maybe 10% of it is trying to... Anyway, I don't want to say anything that I'll get sued
Ian
for.
Ian McCagan says, at 5, I went with Dad and he sat me in the loft hatch and told me not to move.
Oh, right. What did your dad do for...
He was probably a farmer.
A farmer. I don't know.
But,
Be interesting.
Ian seems to be the kind of person who has that kind of knowledge, being what he does.
Henri Agincourt says, not good if you're in a fire station.
Nope.
So that's interesting.
Lord Jeffrey would love to see a baby in a tank firing live rounds.
Yeah, if you were a member of the army, you wouldn't take your baby to war, would you?
No.
Come on, kids, we're going to the front line. Come on, put on this hard hat, you'll be all right. Here's a gun. Yeah, there's a trigger there. It's got live rounds in it.
Ian McCagan's dad was an electrician, actually.
Oh, he was an electrician.
Call.
We have a calling on the talking bone.
Check my bubbles.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Hello, it's number 2 in the running caller order.
Hello, Terry Banton.
Terry Banton, lovely to hear from you. How are you?
Yeah. Yes, I'm very well. Well, apart from going to the dentist, but...
Oh, yes. How did it go?
I'm not going to go into all the details, but it did hurt my purse a bit.
Yeah.
£23.80.
23?
Yes.
Oh, that was cheap then, wasn't it? Normally you get stung for about £5,000 going to a dentist.
Yes. No, it's just a band 1. We have to go into bands, don't we?
Oh, right.
Band 1, basic inspection and had a poke around. And a couple of x-rays.
Oh, right. Blimey. 23 quid.
Yeah,
Dear, oh dear.
£23.80. Unfortunately, tomorrow, because she said I had bleeding gums, I booked a hygienist visit tomorrow,
Oh.
which is going to cost me £66 because you have to go private and you can't have it done on the National Health Service.
Is that right?
Yeah,
That's
so,
outrageous. And you've paid into that system all your life.
Yeah, I know.
And you
I
can't get
understand
them to deal with your bleeding gums. Charming,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. Well, yes. The thing is, with the National Health Service and dentistry, you've got to have quite a deep purse these days.
Mm.
I mean, if you want to start having bridges and implants, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of pounds.
Yeah, well, it depends how, I mean, I hear these adverts from time to time talking about this, get your smile back. And there's an advert I've seen or heard somewhere where it says you don't even need to go to a dentist. And they do I don't know whether they just put this piece of cardboard in your mouth with a picture of a load of teeth. But they say you can get your smile back. And you think, well, what if you're a miserable bugger? I just want my teeth fixed, but I'm a miserable bugger, never mind smiling. It's a curious... Anyway, you didn't ring up about dentists, did you?
No, I rang up about babies in the workplace.
Yeah, tell Georgie. Tell Julia. Georgie is my daughter. She's my baby in the workplace. She used to do the Vobes show.
She did.
So that was... But not as a baby.
No.
Yes, I saw one of your videos where you went on a walk together, didn't you, somewhere in the forest?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a charming young lady.
Thank you very much. Very kind.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell us about babies. What's your opinion on babies in the workplace? Tell Auntie Julia.
Well, as you said, this particular MP had it in the sling, not a slingshot.
No.
Sling.
Could have thrown it at Boris.
Yeah.
He would have mistaken it as one of his, I expect, because he's got about 18, hasn't he? This looks like Pippa. Does it looks like Pippa? What's it called?
Peppa.
Peppa Pig. Is that Peppa Pig you've got over there? Did you see it at Boris's World? Sorry, go on. Sorry, Terry.
Yeah, I think he had 7 at the last count. I don't know whether that includes the new one that's coming, or has it come sprouted yet?
Well, it's probably half a dozen more since then.
I expect it'll have blonde hair, won't it?
Yeah. Useful as a mop round until it gets too big to lift up. Probably use a little baby like that as a duster. Anyway, go on. Tell us about babies in the workplace. We're all ears.
Yes, it's all right as long as they don't woke.
Yes.
When she's making a speech, you don't want them to woke.
Yeah, don't want woke babies, do you? Well, it would be woke because it was a left-wing politician, so it would be a woke baby. So it's going to be crying at it'll be upset. It will be upset by everything. A loud noise, it'll be offended. That's how these woke babies work. Sorry, Julia, I'm supposed to be giving you time. You come out with all the jokes.
Got nothing to add to this.
Yeah, so Julia, has she ever had to use a creche anywhere?
I've never had the opportunity to use a creche. I mean, I've used day nurseries before, but
yeah, I think
I brought my baby to work when I did the Vobes show.
Oh yes, she did. We had little
off.
Joe when he was titchy on the actual show, and he was great. I mean, everybody was commenting about him. We didn't have to do anything. We just put him there, and all going, "Oh, look at the lovely baby." But if we did that every show, I think the novelty factor would have worn off.
Oh yeah.
And 2 years later, the studio would have worn off because it would have been destroyed by him.
He did appear on a couple more, 2 or 3 more, I think.
Yeah.
Before he got too big.
Yeah.
And was just disruptive.
And my ego couldn't take it. Let's face it. It's like he's just upstaging everyone. It's outrageous. Get him off. Get off.
Yeah.
You know what these...
Teeny tiny weeny little baby. Oh, I want my baby back. Oh, he was so titty.
Have you had kids, Terry?
Yeah, I've got 2 sons in there. One's in his late 30s and the other one is in his mid 30s. So.
Did you ever take them to work?
No, my ex-wife, she was a school teacher, so she took them to school.
She took them to school. Excellent.
They had a creche. She worked in a secondary all-girls school, Malay. You may remember it from Horsham.
Oh yes, Malay. Yeah, Forest Girls, as it was.
Forest was the boys down the road, and Malay was the girls, and I think they did meet up occasionally.
Oh yeah.
On the way out in the afternoon.
Absolutely. It's where you learnt the birds and the bees, and you thought, how do the bees do that with the birds? It's a very strange situation. But anyway,
Yeah, I think creches are probably the best answer. You know, a lot of larger pre-pandemic companies, they used to have a creche, and they employed probably a nanny or two. What do they call them? Childminders.
But the thing
So
is,
they're-
I mean, this baby was something like 3 months, and Stella Creasy would have maternity leave, so she would have had 6 months to have spent time at home with the baby. She wouldn't need to put it in a creche. She could have just stayed at home. She's an MP. Nobody would have missed her.
Yeah, well, with all this working from home, which has been encouraged during lockdowns and
Exactly.
the pandemic, I mean, you can keep your child in the workplace if you're at home, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Keep it next door.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. She could have just said, look, I've got a baby. Okay, I'll make the odd thing in. I'll just appear on the screens. They would still have the technology in the House of Commons to go, right, okay, we've got a speech by Stella Creasy. She's on the monitor. And then she could have been there at home looking after the baby, saying, whatever it is that she wanted to point that she wanted to make. And then they could have done it back, over Zoom. She didn't need to be there, because she had to be there, because every time they make an appearance, they get extra cash, don't they?
Well, you get.
Or is
these
that the
female-
Lords? I forget whether that's the Lords. It might be the Lords who do that.
I think that probably most of the ladies and the lords are past having childbearing age.
Oh yeah, the Lords and ladies. That's true.
Oh no, there probably are some younger ladies or lords. I don't know.
Yes.
Are they allowed to be called ladies or lords or heiresses or heirs?
Well, I don't know. In this time where you're not allowed to say hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's hello everyone, because there might be somebody there who is binary fluid and is not a lady or a gentleman, is very upset if you say that. I wonder if lords and ladies, if you're allowed to, what do they do?
Well, and also I wonder about crossbenchers, where they're not affiliated to any party. Are they affiliated to any gender?
What? Yeah. There's a lot of unknown questions going on there, Terry.
There is.
Yeah, it's probably too much. Anyway, I would have called about my good deed for the day, which was several years ago, but perhaps I'll tell you about that another time.
No, quickly fit it in. Go on.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll try and be quick. Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. I was shopping in one of these small independent shops, and there's a lady outside with her mobility scooter, and she seemed to be having some problems with it. She kept twisting the handle, turning the key on it. And I said, are you okay? Do you need some help? And she said, my battery's flat.
So she thought she could wind it up?
Well, Well, anyway, she couldn't get it to operate. So I said, do you live far away? And she said, no, just about a block or two away. So I said, okay, I'll give you a push. So we set off. I pushed her, got across the road. Luckily, the traffic stopped as I was pushing. And it was quite one of these heavy scooters, one of these lightweight ones
Right.
you see about. I said, where do we go now? It's up there through that passageway. So as we went into the passageway, it suddenly turned into quite a gradient.
Oh,
slope. And I was puffing and panting and pushing. I said, is it far to go now? No, it's only about another 100 metres. Anyway, we got to the top. I said, I'm glad to have helped you, but by this time, I said I had a heart pacemaker fitted last year. And that's the truth. I'm not winding you up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the battery's got about 4 years to go on it, according to Worthing Hospital. I had it put in 3 years ago. Anyway, I got to the top. I said, have you had a battery change recently? She said, oh, yeah, I had the maintenance man last week to check the battery and said everything's fine on it.
Oh, right.
I said, I was on the outside payment. I said, she lived in one of these blocks of old people's homes, apartments. I said, where are you going to keep this, So they said, well, we're allowed to use, there's a sort of garage which nobody uses to put cars in, but they put their mobility scooters in there.
Right.
So I had to push it another 25 metres to get the thing in.
Gosh.
Luckily, so I was quite tired by the end of it.
I should imagine.
But,
hope you had a good old
she was very grateful for it.
Yeah,
anyway,
I
and I suppose that was a good deed, because she would have been having problems, I think.
I thought you were going to say you got to the driveway where the house was and she went, oh, turn the key this way. Vroom. And then it went. I thought that was the punchline. Terry, we better move on. Thank you so much for your contribution, as ever. Always lovely to hear from you.
Yes, it's a Sandell and Hartley show, isn't it?
It is, yeah, that's it. Something like that.
Yeah. I'll call in for a takeaway. Newland Road Chinese, is it?
Yeah, there is a Chinese up that street. Yeah, you're quite right. Take care. Look after yourself.
Cheers and bye.
Bye. Right, we better get on to another video because time is. I'm boiling up in here because of that fire. Are you boiling? You're right next to it.
I'm comfortable.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get on to another video. We've only got 2 left. I'm going to take the next choice, which then automatically puts the end one. But the end one will give us a nice high.
But I'll tell you what, we'll have that one last.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to do.
There. I made the decision.
Damn it. Anyway, so remember, Bernie was out there in Wales at Abermawr. This is a continuation of Bernie's trip. Let's catch up with him.
Oh, I do like that. I think that's brilliant. Leave only footprints on the beach. Please use bins provided. And you see, there's not much in the way of human footprint there. It's all 4-legged friends. I'll go further down another time, as and when I get a chance, and I'll start filming down there. But you can see how Abermawr has grown as a resort. I don't know if I can get that. You see that terrace there? 1878. So that'll tell you that although on the one hand this is quite a young place, it has a well established history now. Ooh, this is a bit further up than I thought it would be, but a good vantage point. There, you can see where it's rained. There is the railway line heading north towards Portmeadows, and all around lovely view of the bits of the town in the hillside, including, I'll try and zoom in on it. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And down there is the Gorzab. Sadly, a mere shadow of its former self, and that takes the Cambrian coastline down over past Towin, although it doesn't get that far. It goes down towards Morfa Malbach, Pairborn, and joins up with the other branch coming up from Aberystwyth at Machynlleth, and then heads inland towards Shrewsbury. Anyhow, okay, back onto the seafront.
How about that? Wonderful. And as somebody was saying, where is everybody? Yeah, they're all asleep, aren't they? Because Bernie's up at the crack of dawn. This was in the summer, of course. You know, we had early mornings light. I've taken my jacket off because I was so...
it's warm.
It's the gas. I've worked it out.
Heater.
I'm so used to not coal fires. I don't burn coal. Wood fires. Wood fires. I'm so used to wood fires. This is a little Calagas fire that we've got in here just to warm up, because this studio is in the coldest room now in the house.
So now you know why Billy had his fire on.
Yeah, now I know why Billy... But Billy had an electric fire. I don't get on with those kind of fires, and that gas fire, which I rarely use. But
the smell of this reminds me of my grandparents' house when I was little.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Ah,
I used to stick around the bathroom.
My dad used to have a paraffin fire, an Aladdin fire. Anybody remember those? You'd put paraffin in, it burnt on a wick, and you put this great long tube up like this. And he would have it in the loft, in the shed. It was great, but it had a very distinctive smell, and it was probably carcinogenic, I should think. So, yeah, there we are. He does sleep, says Station Master's Choice. He sleeps in the winter, a sort of semi-hibernation. I don't blame you. And that's what you should be doing. Yeah. More sleep in the winter, because that's, you know, you get up when the sun...
That's natural. That's the natural cycle of things, isn't it? Thank you so much for the video, Bernie. As always, lovely.
Now, we are coming to the end of the show. I had a number of talking points that I wanted to talk about. Maybe for Friday, we can talk about the frauds. Black Friday, not Fly Day. I can't even say
Black Friday.
Thank you. Black Friday. There's a lot of frauds apparently going on, but the biggest fraud is everybody saying it's Black Friday week, not this one day where there's all these super bargains before Christmas. But they're all, I mean, last weekend I heard people talking about it's Black Friday week where they've had this massive sale. I don't know that it's a good idea, but what do you think? Be interested to hear your comment for Friday, which is, I believe, the Black Friday itself. Also, another talking point, briefly, if there's a job being advertised, Her Majesty is advertising a job for somebody to answer her letters. Now, if you'd like to apply for this job, you could work. You've got to reply to her all the letters that comes in. Dear Queen, hope that you have a lovely 100th birthday and all those sort of things. You've got to answer all the correspondence in a timely manner. Apparently, the pay for this is $23,500 per year, which I think is less than the average, isn't it? It's less than the average pay. The pay to do this show... I suppose
it's only part-time, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you're on a lot higher than that, aren't you? It's about 50, 60 grand you get for your appearances in here. Which is very expensive.
No comment.
But an interesting job, I would imagine, to do. You've got to be London-based, apparently. You just nip into the office at Buck House.
I'd hate that job.
No answer.
I hate looking at my own emails and stuff.
Yeah, but these would be little old...
These are actual written letters, though, aren't they?
Yes, people will write letters. Dear Queen, you know, from like an 11-year-old who's written to...
That's a lot of pressure, though, you know. I mean, unless you're given set ways of answering them, you know, set responses and things like that, you know. Or give them a postcard of, you know, signed postcard or something. No, she doesn't do the signing, does she? Not allowed in case she gets fraudulently copied.
Yeah, somebody signs on her behalf, I think. But anyway.
Her corgis do her letters. They're very dog-eared, says Michael White.
Sprapsolutely. Do you get a free lunch, says Bonnie.
Do you get a free lunch with the Queen? If I'd do it for that.
Oh, that's true. Yes, I wonder if you get luncheon vouchers. Her Majesty's own luncheon vouchers. You take them in, and there is the butler and everything going, what's your name? Gracie. Right, Gracie, come sit down over there. There we are. I wonder what it would be like working for the Queen. It's a certain prestige. You probably just can't turn up in your slacks. You've probably got to, you know, dress the part, haven't you?
Nigel Sadler wonders, do you have to write in a queenly voice?
My husband and I, deceased, well, him deceased, not me, thank you so much for your letter. It was so rewarding to have, you know, she probably never sees them. That's the sad thing is, it is a bit of a con, isn't it? She probably never reads them, so it's probably a little bit of a con.
A little bit, maybe. I think she gets to see a percentage of them, but they have to be, like, really special, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Slacks, says Bonnie. Yes, don't wear your slacks. Anyway, listen, it's Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. Old Vobesy has got a show on Friday, and that's
A fact.
And that's a thanks. I'm not very good at the rhymes, but we'll try next times. Anyway, Ray of Hope. Good old Ray from Horsham.
Yay.
He's got us. He's kicking us off into the festive spirit, and why not? We're getting towards. We're coming towards the end of November and the beginning of Christmas. Now, Christmas to me doesn't start until about the 23rd, and the evening of the 23rd of December. But some people celebrate it a bit earlier.
Technically, in my house, it doesn't really start until after my eldest's birthday on the 19th of December.
Ah.
But I'm getting more into the festive thing as I get older.
Uh-oh.
Ow, 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 ee, ow, ooh, ow, ooh, ow. Why won't that work?
You need
Wait a minute.
No, it won't work on mine. I've got no hair to clip it onto.
No. Doop.
Oh, Lord.
And
Ho, ho, ho. Well, I look like one of these weird... It's amazing what a bald head does with things coming out your ears. Uh-oh, hang on a minute. We've got to get the... This is for the thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen. Oberon Prepare, Julio, she creates... Shall I play the video and come back?
I'm ready. Wait,
Oh, she's ready, she's ready.
Okay, I'm ready to
Hold
watch
on
the
with
video.
us, ladies and gentlemen. So, let us do our thumbnail then, now at just after however many, 102 minutes. Brilliant. And, ladies and gentlemen, Ray of Hope with a wonderful Christmas tune.
Something to cheer you up. Cheer everybody up.
Way!
Woo, 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 woo.
Fantastic, absolutely superb. How about that,
Who
ladies
else
and
was singing
gentlemen?
along in my one unicorn open sleigh?
Ah, yes.
And Ernie, I knew I had some taste.
Yes.
You've just proved it.
Ernie.
He's got these glasses.
Oh, Bernie.
No, Ernie.
Ernie. Ernie's got the glasses.
Isn't it
Ernie's
Ernie
another
said- I'm
wonderful,
sure Ernie said
snappy dresser, isn't he? Ernie.
Could you scroll up a second?
Yeah, certainly. Do.
Ernie, yeah, it was Ernie.
There you go. Marvellous. Julia, I've got those glasses. Fantastic. Yes. I imagine he wears that with his RAF outfit. Super duper. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in for yet another exciting show here on the Vogue
One-eyed
Show.
Obi,
Yes.
Whatty? Hey?
What?
What'd you say?
Nip, nip, cozy.
Yeah.
And
Kit nosy.
I'm back on Friday, Black Friday. So I suppose I better put a black... No, better not. We'll be taken off. Black Friday, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be sitting with no lights. That's how we do it in this show. Maybe a candle for the Black Friday fraud show. That could be interesting. I have.
Oh, and there's no show on Monday.
Oh yes, Mundaddy. Somebody's got the big 4-0 coming up, and I'm not telling you who. And you're having a quiet soiree, a select number of people, and I've been invited. So she said, I'm not celebrating my 40th on the show. I don't blame you.
I didn't actually say that.
No,
You said, oh, you can't.
You can't do your 40th.
So I
on the show.
arranged something.
So she's arranged something. So there's no show on Monday, but there will be a show every day till Christmas. In your head.
In your head, zombie, zombie. What?
I did actually think about doing more Vobe shows, but I hadn't actually discussed this with the lovely Julia because I know she'll say don't do it.
What?
But what? I was thinking of doing Monday to Friday each weekday because I'm unlikely to go anywhere much on the trips away in the next month. Who's going to go away in December? Be a nightmare trying to go anywhere. But I haven't yet decided, so don't take that as read or anything. I'm going to get slapped now. Anyway, until...
How hot do those embers get in the SE?
In the SE, they've all gone out now, so they've gone out down the pub. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the contributions from Ray with Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Bernie with his Abermore Part 2, David Vad with his incredibly scintillating piece of Wordsworth poetry, and Pete, Colonel Crag Ratty, for clambering up before I even knew they existed, Harrison's Rocks. To Ron and Elaine, yes, we will be popping round to pick up whatever it is and having a cup of coffee with you. To Sonia, yes, we'll drop off the washing dryer thingy a drying hot thing and have a cup of tea with you. And thank you to Judith out there who's been slaving away, keeping all the trolls and nasties from entering anything because it's a wicked world. You should see her with her big 7-inch sword. Which is actually not very big, is it? A 7-inch sword. I should have given her something. 7 foot sword.
Blimey.
And a big jackhammer mallet.
Must be a two-hander.
And thank you to Julia for coming in.
And thank you for Richard for putting it all together.
And putting these on. And thank to you for tuning in and having your comments. To Terry Banton and, of course, Alan Sandell for the humorous and comedy phone calls. Until Friday, look after yourselves. Have a lovely time. Bye for now.
At least we didn't have to say...
What?
Where's the reverb?
Oh, sorry.
Sexy time.
Sexy time. Sexy time. Yeah,
Too many times.
We didn't have to say that, did we?
We didn't have to say that.
No, you just had to bring it up.
I did.
Yeah. Say goodbye.
Bye. Bye.